What is up, everyone? Welcome to Promethean Tides. I am General, and as always, I am joined by Breaker. What's going on, Breaker?
Just remember, America, you got to put on your extra mask. Now you have to wear the special anti-monkeypox diapers to protect yourself from the monkey COVID virus of doom that's going to kill you all. Come on, man, America, we could beat this together.
Th- Thank you for the words of wisdom, Joe. God damn it, we appreciate them and we need them right now.
I used to sit on the stand with roaches and monkeys, and I always avoided the monkeypox by wearing my diaper. So that's what they tell me. That's what the nurses say. America.
uh, yeah. So, yeah. Stay healthy, Joe. The in regards to the monkeypox thing, I guess we'll just begin with this story. The World Health Organization has declared monkeypox a public health emergency.
Oh no.
Very terrifying, very scary stuff. I'll tell you what, I can't. I can't wait to get locked down for this one. There are 16,000 cases globally. There's almost 3,000 cases in the U.S. And let's see. According to the CDC, the monkeypox outbreak is largely among men who have sex with men and have multiple sexual partners. So, yeah, I guess that just maybe for the next couple months, try not to practice as much anal sex, right? Like, just try to avoid it, and you're good.
How dare you? This is where the trans voice needs to be heard. Even though you don't like the trans voice, it's time to hear the trans voice. You can't tell people not to engage in anal sex because it's part of our identity. You're being transphobic.
It's like all the people that were like against the lockdowns and the vaccine mandates and the mask policies and all this kind of stuff, but this time it's actually going to be like the gays and the trans, and they're going to go, you can't stop me from having anal sex with dozens of partners a week. This is oppressing me.
Yeah, it's almost as though it's a similar thing to what happened with the like the feminist and women's rights people that they were all against internet anonymity when trolls were constantly calling the she-tarded feminists out on their horrible fucking nuclear hot takes. But now, when whores want to kill their babies, all of a sudden, like, they're all complaining about internet anonymity, and like, make sure you VPN companies make sure to keep that data encrypted for all those women seeking abortions in states where it might not be totally legal. Like, internet anonymity is very important now. But also, like, seriously, in regards to the monkeypox situation, how long is it going to take before monkeypox becomes an offensive term? Now, you might be thinking to yourself, how could monkeypox be an offensive term? Well, you have to start thinking like a leftist to understand this. Because calling anything monkey, like, potentially somewhere, somehow, there could be an African American individual that will take offense to this term for what should be obvious reasons. And if these reasons are not obvious to you, it just means you're a Nazi.
That is actually a very good point. I believe that we should call it the tailed primate pox. It's much less offensive.
Well, not all primates have tails, so I don't know about that. Like, there might be furry and two-spirited individuals that identify as various primates without tails, and they could be offended.
Okay, you're right. Not all primates have tails, but all monkeys have tails, because they're not apes. So...
you freaking scientists, you're confusing
right.
language. This is why that you people end up on the cattle car with the fucking eugenicist when the left takes over. Evolution bad to make my brain hurt. Everyone equal.
That's exactly right. Fuck evolution. It's too complicated. We should just all be sitting around the campfire singing Kumbaya in the gulag in Siberia. Anyway, so yeah, I don't think that monkeypox is something that most people need to freak out over, unless you specifically are a homosexual man who is engaging in just a whole bunch of butt stuff with a whole bunch of different people. Then you are most likely at risk, and maybe just avoid that. But yeah, I'm dubious that the government would ever try to actually do a lockdown over monkeypox. But if they did, it would just be the most absurd thing, because it's not about like going outside and sneezing on someone. It's about, look, just don't put your dick in a dude's poop chute, right? It's actually quite simple. And you know what? Just wear a condom if you really fucking have to, and just hope it doesn't break. So, yeah. So that's the monkeypox thing. I don't think it's a big deal, at least not for me, because I don't usually tend to fuck men in the ass. So next story. So AOC was actually arrested this week. This would have been on July 19th. She was arrested at an abortion rights protest that was held right outside the Supreme Court. They were blocking First Street, and then the cops warned them, like, "Hey, don't block the street," And I guess they said that they warned the protesters 3 times to get off the fucking street, and they declined. So the cops they came in and they arrested 35 of the people there, and this is where it gets a little bit surprising. Out of the 35, 17 of those people were members of Congress. So I'm not gonna say that it's definitely a PR move or that it was staged, but it is a little bit strange that half of those who were arrested were members of Congress. I don't know. I mean, it looks a little bit fishy. Not saying anything, just looks a little bit weird. That's all. Of course, some people were noticing that when AOC was being arrested, I think Ilhan Omar was also arrested. Some other people, but when she was being arrested, she had her arms like behind her back, but there was no handcuffs. And AOC actually said that in general, it's even if you're not handcuffed, if you are being arrested, it's best to put your hands behind your back, just to, I guess, avoid being threatening or whatever to the officer. And
until you need to make a political statement by raising a Black Power fist, after which Curb Your Enthusiasm music plays in the background. And again, whether you're left-wing or right-wing listening to this is like the main reason why you don't join fucking any type of fucking protest, because even on the left wing, half the people there are fucking feds.
Yep, that's true. So, I mean, To some extent, I actually I think it's okay that AOC was walking with her hands behind her back. I mean, like, it does kind of seem like she was trying to look like she was being look like she was handcuffed so that she could be, more part of the fight, like a regular everyday person on the ground. But to be fair, what she said, that it's a good idea when you're arrested to keep your hands behind your back. That kind of makes sense. The Black Power fist, that makes less sense, but there you go. That is, I suppose, what happened. It's clearly all pandering, but she is a politician, and politicians will pander. So it's not that surprising.
And I guarantee you, the fucking prosecutor for the District of Columbia isn't going to do jack shit about this. Whoever that is just going to roll their eyes. He'd be like, "Oh, these darn kids!" And Ocasio Donkey Face Cortez is going to be the corner, like smiling with that "I'm so sorry" face. Like, oh gosh darn it! I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you darn Capitol policemen.
Well, so speaking of arrests being made and no jail time being served, we also had Representative Lee Zeldin being attacked. So Lee Zeldin, he is a Republican gubernatorial candidate for New York. So he's running to be governor of New York. And a man by the name of David Jacobonis, age 43, basically walked up on stage and pointed a weapon at him. I'm not exactly sure how to describe this weapon. It's like it's a cat.
Okay, anybody that can make memes, I want to see memes of him pointing an actual cat at the politician. Just Photoshop an actual fucking tabby cat or Garfield or something into this image, or fucking, hey, like, Photoshop a gay femboy cat boy into his hand and send it to Nick Fuentes. He'll love that, trust me. Nick Fuentes is all about femboy cats.
Yeah, so it's basically, it's like this, it's a piece of metal, and you can slip your fingers into it, and the two so it's supposed to be like a keychain that looks like a cat, except the holes that would be the eyes of the cat are the things that you put your fingers into, and then it has like two ears, and the ears are points, and so it's kind of like a brass knuckles, except it's just for
deadlier.
It's for your index and middle finger, and basically the ears of the cat are spikes. So it definitely has a lethality to it. Now this is, I guess, originally the purpose of this is kind of like a self-defense tool for women. Like, you can kind of like carry it, with your keys, and if someone is trying to assault you or rob you or something, then now you have like a little spike on your knuckles, a metal spike, or a couple metal spikes, and maybe you can deter an attacker. And I think that's brilliant. I have nothing against this weapon. I think I didn't know about this self-defense tool, but I think it's actually really cool. I have zero things against it. I think it's fantastic, but maybe don't point it at a gubernatorial candidate who I believe is a sitting congressman. Maybe just don't fucking do that, right?
Yeah, from what I've heard, the guy that pointed this weapon at the gubernatorial candidate was like an ex-military operative that had actually served in the Iraq War. So, a trained military personnel that's probably over 200 pounds in weight with this thing on their fist That is a deadly weapon.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like he raised it at him. I saw the video. He raised it at him. He didn't punch him with the weapon, but he did seem to have like kind of an intent to. It was very threatening. So
Yeah, that's more in the hands of that particular individual. That's technically more deadly than a knife.
potentially, yeah. So that happened. Now, according to the assailant, the Jack Bonas said he did not know who the speaker was or that the speaker was a political person. Okay. And he said that he must have checked out. So I guess he just didn't understand. He was a good boy who didn't do nothing. But so he the interesting bit is that this occurred on Thursday, and then he got arrested, and then they arranged him Friday on a separate state charge of attempted assault in the second degree, and then he was released because that's just a thing. You just get released if you if you assault a sitting congressman who is running to be governor. You just fuck it, you just get released. Who the hell cares? It's not a big deal. Great. And so the guy is claiming that this wasn't political, but I guess some people have gone back and checked out his social media posts and his Facebook and whatnots, and apparently he does seem to be sort of a lefty. You know, he has like the occasional like, you know, pro BLM post, or you know, I can't wait to turn my kids trans or whatever. I don't know what he was posting. I assume some sort of lefty nonsense. So I think it's pretty clear that this guy did have some political motivations behind what he was doing. But you know what? I guess it's not a big deal because he was released. Just no big deal. Can anyone imagine if this was reversed? Let's say that some big military trained conservative guy walked up to AOC when she was doing a rally and pointed a weapon at her. Can we imagine how that would go? Because I don't think it's going to go down exactly the same way. I have this weird theory that, in fact, that person would have the full extent of the law thrown at them in the strictest degree possible. That would be my guess. But then again...
Well, if not that, they would probably be shot.
Yeah, or just fucking shot on sight. Yeah, which, by the way, would be completely justified. Completely and totally justified. But, fuck it. You know what? This guy can just be released. No big deal. Just, you know what? No one was harmed. I mean, it was a threat, sure.
It's like a few years ago when that crazy lefty at the baseball game tried to kill a freaking Republican. Remember that story?
I do, yeah. He was a big-time Bernie supporter.
Yeah. Funny how that kind of just, fell down the memory hole.
Well, look, here's the thing, right? When the right is violent, it's extremely scary, and you need to be scared of it. When the left is violent, it's not a big deal, guys. Come on, they're just trying to, get like equality or whatever. So it's not as bad, okay? It's not as bad.
And also remember the YouTube shooter, if you remember her, that crazy Zoroastrian YouTuber that was like, YouTube is suppressing my videos. I'm going to go shoot up the headquarters. I think she wounded several people and killed herself like she was the only fatality at the scene.
God, fucking A. I mean, there are some things that men are just better at, okay? Suicide, men are better at, okay? Like, way higher chance of success. And mass shootings, okay? What the fuck? Women are apparently shit poor at mass shootings. Men, they get the job done. I'm just gonna say that. So, okay.
I mean, even the crappiest men, like that crazy ghost pussy guy that shot up the frickin' grocery store with a shotgun and then killed himself. Like the skinny pencil armed ghost trans person was able to kill more people.
Fucking A, man. Fucking A. I mean, it's one of those things. Men are naturally better at certain things. Murder. Men are also just better at murder in general. Women do a lot of attempted murder, but when it comes to actually getting the job done, you got to go with a man. Okay, cool. So,
but anyway,
so yeah, that was that story. I wish Representative Lee Zeldin all the best. I don't know if they're. I don't follow the state politics of New York that much, mostly because it's a lefty hellhole. And I'm very doubtful that this guy would actually win the primary to be a Republican governor of New York. But you know what? It's important that he's trying, and I support it immensely, because at the end of the day, maybe some of these blue states can be turned. You know, you have to put in the effort. It's possible that people do start to get so fed up with the bullshit of the Democrats that even people that used to be on the left might start voting for the person on the right. It's within the realm of possibility. I used to be on the left myself, so it is possible. I support Republicans running in heavy blue states, and I wish Representative Lee Zeldin all the best, and I hope that he doesn't get assaulted or have his life threatened again. So yeah, there's that.
I hope he doesn't get taken out by a Hello Kitty weapon.
Yes. So the next story is that Biden has cancer COVID. Or COVID cancer? He has both.
Come on, man. Like, I've had all the vaccines, man. COVID is no match for me. The only thing that could possibly take me down is cancer. So it's like a combination of COVID and cancer, because even if you have multiple vaccines, there's no guarantee that you still won't catch like advanced variants of COVID. Come on, man. Wear your mask. Get vaccinated now. America.
So, yeah, he was on stage. I saw the video. He was talking about healthcare and how certain things are unhealthy, and he said, you know, that's why all these people have you know, from when I was growing up, they have cancer like I do. Something like that.
Womp 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 womp.
So he said that now the other individuals at the White House quickly covered for him and said no. He was referring to a patch of melanoma that he had a couple years ago. That's what he was talking about. It's not a big deal. He had some melanoma. He was just referring to the fact that he had a little piece of skin cancer. He's totally fine. He's totally good. He's the healthiest guy on the planet, we swear. And that was the explanation. And you know what? It is it's an understandable explanation, right? It makes a little bit of sense. That being said, I do have to say this, given his age, I would not be at all surprised if he did have cancer. the rates and risk of cancer, it goes up basically exponentially as you get older. So the older you are, the more and more and more risk you have of having cancer. And it would honestly, it's a little bit surprising to me that he wouldn't have cancer, but he gets the probably the best medical attention in the world, so I'm sure that they will keep him alive as best they can. If he did have cancer, not saying that he does, but there's that. And also, he has COVID. So.
Come on, man. If you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. And if you are black, you gotta watch out. You gotta be extremely careful about the monkeypox for obvious reasons. Come on, man, America.
That you know what? I was offended by that. Okay. So yeah, he has some variant of the Omicron. I'm not sure which variant it is, but he has that. The doctors are saying that he's fine, that there aren't really that many symptoms of it. I think that
I'll be fine. I'm as strong as a horse. Like Corn Pop can attest to that. Ever since I took Corn Pop behind the woodshed, he can attest that Joe Biden is someone you don't want to mess with, even though he has cancer. Come on, man.
No,
America.
No, Jesus! What happened to Corn Pop? That sounds gruesome.
You don't want to know what happened to Corn Pop. I'll tell you one thing: it's not half as bad as what happened to all those girls whose hair that I sniffed. Come on, man.
Oh, boy.
America.
Oh boy. Well, they will be missed. Okay. All right. Thanks, Joe.
Resting peacefully, free from cancer and/or COVID. Come on, man.
America. So yeah. Apparently, Biden, he has the COVID. I guess the doctors say he's all right. It's not that symptomatic. Which, you know what? Here's the thing, right? If his over 80 ass can handle COVID, I'm super duper not worried about it for myself, because I'm not that old. I have absolutely zero worries. I got the Omicron variant maybe like, I don't know, 6 months ago or something. It sucked a bit, but I'm fine. The amount of shits that I give about whatever strains that still exist of COVID that might be out there, Jesus Christ, I don't care. They are more easily spreadable, yes, but they keep evolving in the direction of becoming less and less lethal, as by the way you would expect from any virus, right? Any virus that happens upon humanity starts out fucking things up, being quite deadly, and not that spreadable. And as time goes on, it is the best thing for a virus to not kill the host, but also become as virulent as possible. Just spread fucking everywhere. That's the goal of any virus. That's where they tend to evolve towards. So this is what we're seeing in COVID. It's maximizing its ability to spread. It's not killing people nearly as much as say like the very original strain did. And in addition to that, who would have thunk it? It seems as though it's becoming resistant to the vaccines. Who could have possibly predicted that? That when you introduce a vaccine mid-pandemic, then the virus will evolve around the vaccine that you have created. I mean, that's a surprising one. You know, who could have possibly fucking predicted that? But yeah, so that's.
Well, I will tell you I'll tell you one thing. Now, this is not medical advice by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm over 30, morbidly obese, and I've had all the fucking COVIDs. I collect them like fucking Pokemon. I had the original COVID, I had the Delta, and the Omicron. And every single time, the first time it's kind of like a meme for anyone that knows me on Discord. That's when I had the Jersey Mike accent, because if I didn't talk like Jersey Mike, I sounded like this. And that was like over 2 weeks. That was like close to 3 weeks I had to talk like fucking Jersey Mike when I had the first variant. The second time was kind of just like an annoying cold. And the third time, it almost put me on my ass, but what I did was I took a bunch of vitamin C and zinc and BC powder and over-the-counter Dayquil. And when I woke up, I still felt kind of sick, but, you know, I was relatively fine, except for a scratchy throat that fucked up my voice for another couple weeks. So that's my experience of all 3 COVID variants back to back to back. And my morbidly obese, sleep apnea riddled ass is still alive.
Well, we are all glad about the fact that you remain alive. But I guess the point being is that holy shit is this just not a big deal. They've started to bring Fauci back into the news, so that he can tell us just how dangerous this disease is and how it
am the science. If you do not trust me, you go against science, and you will be struck down where you stand.
Right.
Get your vaccine now.
Right. The fact is that, look, if you just comply with what Fauci tells you to do, then he'll think about giving you your goddamn freedoms back, okay? So just fucking comply. Kneel. Yeah, so, I
do it.
I don't think that they're going to be able to pull off a COVID-2 pandemic boogaloo sort of thing. I don't think that they're going to be able to do another round of shutdowns or mandates or whatever the fuck. I don't think that they have enough political capital remaining to engage in that sort of thing. I think that most Americans are pretty much done with it. We spent 2 years under that boot, and I think that was pretty much enough for most Americans. Of course, some people, they enjoy the boot. They want to live under the boot. But, you know, I think most Americans would prefer not to, which is just a fantastic thing about Americans. That's one of the things that separates us from the Europeans, which is awesome.
Well, I'll give you my opinion on this, and out of like all this fucking COVID shit that's been happening, I will say one thing about this. Like, there are a lot of people that before all this shit happened would have been much more trusting of the medical establishment and like legitimate vaccine technology and implementations of vaccines. Now, there are people that are just like, in their opinion, just fuck vaccines because I can't trust the government anymore. And this is going to cause like a massive like chain reaction of fucking pandemics of previously regulated and well-controlled diseases that were preventable for decades by legitimate vaccines. And now these people don't trust vaccines anymore because of all this fucking ham-fisted bullshit. That's the real tragedy.
Well, potentially. See, Breaker, I think that we would both agree on this. I have no issue with the traditional tried and tested vaccines. You're looking at your smallpox, your polio vaccines.
I've had all of those.
The tetanus shots. Right.
Yeah.
Like, these are all fantastic technologies that have the polio vaccine, right? These are all vaccines that have effectively eliminated genuinely dangerous diseases from the world that we live in, right? It's just fantastic technologies, fucking amazing. When I have children, I will make sure that they get these vaccines, because they look. A lot of these vaccines we've had for like more than 50 years or longer, so there's been ample time and testing for these vaccines. They seem to be more or less completely safe. I know that sometimes there are some adverse reactions, but these seem like perfectly decent vaccines. I support their existence. But
I don't disagree with you, but the problem is that
right here's the issue. The issue. The government cocked up the COVID vaccine thing so much because, in my opinion, it was not very effective. Probably had a lot of side effects to it, and also they decided to be ham-fisted about their authoritarian use of it and demanded that you fucking get it, or else you're not allowed to go to the store, you can't go to restaurants, maybe you'll get fired. That it put a bad taste in people's mouth, and now they just are saying, some people, not a lot of people, but some people are saying fuck you to all vaccines. That is the result of the government, okay? That's what happens when the government does really stupid shit and mandates the stupid shit on the population. This is what you get, and it is only the government to blame if, I don't know, people decide that they don't want to have polio vaccines anymore and we get a resurgence in polio. It is specifically the result of the government being not just authoritarian, but retarded authoritarians.
Welcome back, polio, chickenpox, and shingles.
I mean, to be fair, like, I just, I remember when I was a kid, I got chickenpox. My mom specifically took me to a fucking one of those chickenpox parties where they just they have one kid with chickenpox and you just make sure all the kids get chickenpox, and I got the chickenpox, and it was itchy. But
if you get that later in life, it can kill you.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, it was like, those chickenpox parties, they were like the original vaccination,
It's almost as though that the human immune system exists.
It is almost as though the human immune system exists. Yeah, that's right.
But we can't talk too much about that because that would be spreading misinformation.
No, that's right. That's right. Look, your immune system exists, okay? It does, but look, the scientists and the doctors, they know better. So just take the fucking COVID vaccination. Don't worry about your immune system. Look, did you already have COVID? No, it's not good enough. Take the vaccine. So, on a related story, I believe that some of the medical professionals, like a Dr. Fauci, they've been pushing the vaccine on the children under 10. Yep, that's that doesn't make a drop of sense to me. To give the COVID vaccine to someone under 10. I mean, that...
Well, here's the thing. In Canada, Justin Trudeau, from what I remember, was pushing the vaccine on children under the age of fucking 6. And now, keep in mind, Canada, even in regards to prescription drugs, advertising for prescription drugs in Canada is so strictly fucking forbidden that you won't even hardly see aspirin commercials in Canada. But then you have the fucking Prime Minister of Canada saying, like, hey, Pfizer vaccine, yay! It's safe and effective for children as young as 4 years old. And just like going past all those fucking regulations that they have in Canada against prescription drugs, like even a fucking antidepressant, you can't have a commercial for a fucking antidepressant in Canada. It's strictly forbidden. But the Prime Minister can get up and say, hey, Pfizer vaccine, A-OK.
I can't imagine giving this untested vaccine to a child of mine when the child has about as much risk of dying from COVID as they would from the rhinovirus or the adenovirus, right? They're gonna, if they were to get COVID, they'll feel a bit icky for a week. Okay, I would 100% take that over whatever the vaccine is, because it's not really tested, and there does seem to be some side effects that have been reported.
To quell some of this misinformation, like sudden adult death syndrome is a thing that is like one of the theories around why people die of sudden heart attacks while adults and otherwise healthy is because during lockdowns people consumed higher than normal amounts of caffeine. And they stayed up late into the night playing video games while drinking mini Monster energy drinks. And, caffeine causes irregular heartbeats. And it's not surprising that these healthy adults were dying of sudden, otherwise unexplained heart attacks. It has nothing to do with what we were previously talking about whatsoever.
That's just science. You're right, Breaker. Yes, the myocarditis, the cardiac arrhythmia, the weird shit that we've seen from women and their menstrual cycles and the reaction that they might have had to a certain Fauci ouchie. Yep, nope, nothing to see here, folks. It's they were just drinking too much caffeine. What are you gonna do? You know what?
Especially those kids, like they gave the kids too many Monster energies, and also like 5-year-olds died of heart attacks. It's just like too much fucking caffeine. Like, stop giving your kids Coca-Cola.
Dude, you know what? Here's the thing: young, healthy people die of heart attacks all the time. Everyone knows that. It's a common occurrence. It's been with us for forever. It's just a thing, okay? Heart attacks, they claim a lot of young, healthy people.
Exactly.
It's an unfortunate thing about our biology that your heart will give out on you when you're 22 years old, right? That's the thing.
Well, there you go. And especially if you're a world-class athlete. That just makes perfect sense because, you're doing all that strenuous activity. It would make sense if you just keeled over from a heart attack, You're working your heart too much.
Yeah, you're wearing it out, You don't it's the opposite of if you don't use it, you lose it. It's like, don't use it too much. You might lose it.
We need more regulations on these sports, especially football and soccer, because like they're so cardio intensive, they're causing heart attacks now. Like, we need to crack down on FIFA.
That's right. You know what? New rule. You are not allowed to run over 7 miles per hour. You go above that, and you get kicked off the field.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're coming for you, Usain Bolt. You gotta slow the fuck down.
Biden has COVID, and you know what? If Biden happens to live through this, then I think that it's a demonstration to all of the American people that if Biden can survive it, then so can you.
Come on, man, America! I'm as healthy as a horse. That's why every day they give me my tapioca and my coffee enema. Come on, man, America.
See, I they would want you to think that they're giving him a coffee enema, but in fact, it is just methamphetamines.
Oh, that would be my son, America.
Right. So, moving on from that story, we also have Trump coming a little bit back into the news.
You're gonna love it, believe me. You gotta vote for me again. This time, I'm totally not gonna fuck it up and drop the ball. Believe me.
I actually agree with that sentiment. I think that he is a man with a plan this time around. So he enacted a policy back in 2020 that allowed for the rescheduling of regular government employees to become Schedule F employees, which would make them political appointees, which means that they have basically no expectation of job security. And so I guess that some sources claim that Trump said that when he wins in 2024, he will use this measure that Joe Biden got rid of, but he will reinstate, to kick out a whole bunch of federal employees. In theory, he could, I guess, it's like right now, there's like 4,000 employees that are political appointees. This measure would expand that number to 50,000. So, in theory, he could actually fire up to 50,000 employees. This would be from many different areas of the government. You're looking at like the State Department, like the EPA, the IRS, many areas in government. You could end up with you being a political appointee. Of course, Trump wouldn't have to fire all 50,000. All he would have to do is fire, like, I don't know, 5,000. The worst of the worst. And then everyone else will see the literal decimation that was done. And then maybe not be so much of a douchebag anymore. And actually, I think that this would be super effective. I think that this is a great thing that Trump could do effectively on day one. Maybe more like day 3, to be fair. But he could do it almost as soon as he gets into the White House. And this is a fantastic tool for actually getting rid of people and trying to clean the government up a little bit. And I'm aggressively in support of this. I think that if he were to do this, this would be just the best thing.
Almost like he should have done that to begin with.
Well, I think that maybe he was planning to do it in his second term, and then he didn't get a second term. So now that he gets his second term back, I really do think that he's I think he's gonna do it because I think that the man is angry, right? I like I don't even see Trump as being like a cold, calculating 4D chess player at this point. I think that he's just kind of upset. And you know what? I like that energy. I like the energy of him just being fucking pissed and just going to war and just fucking burn it down. I think that's a good energy. I think that's an energy that America needs right now. And it's an energy that I think that we can get behind,
We just got to trust that plan, It's like there's a constellation in the sky now of stars that's shaped like a Pepe face with Trump hair. So this makes everything okay. Like this time, it's totally gonna work, guys. Believe me, you're gonna love it. When I'm back from the underground, destroying the deep underground militaries with my portable nuclear rocket launcher, my black hole sword, and my 40k God Emperor armor. Once I'm back from the underground and retake the presidency, you're gonna love it. Believe me. Like so many people are gonna be fired, you won't believe it.
Okay, look, Breaker. I understand that I'm a Trump supporter and that you're a Biden supporter, right? I understand.
Oh man, America, America number one. Don't wear your mask.
I understand that we have different political leanings. Of course, like you love Biden, you love Kamala. I like Trump. I get it. I totally get it. But I don't think that actually. I don't think that Trump is bullshitting. I think that he's like a woman scorned, right? I think he's angry, and you'll notice that like some of the people that he has been I guess like kind of supporting or whatever, or saying like, oh yeah, this person, like they're really good. They are all people that said that the 2020 elections were how do I say this?
Heavily fortified and totally fair in every single way.
Right. Yes. These are the people that he's promoting are the people that were questioning how heavily the election was fortified. And I like at this point it doesn't even make like political sense for him to be so on this, right? Like, you know, to a certain extent, like, you know, you like the cold just like ruthless Machiavellian strategy would say, okay, you lost, you move on, you try to pick another fight, try to get back in. No, he has a vendetta. Like he has like he's vindictive. And I like that. I like that he's vindictive. I think that it shows the human element of Trump, the emotional part of Trump, the part of Trump that says, damn it to any sort of respect to legitimate strategy or reason. I just want to burn the fucker down. And it's brilliant. I love it. That's what we need in a candidate right now. We don't need big-brained reason. We don't need science from Fauci. What we need is the human element. The human element to go in there and say, I'm upset. I want to burn it down.
There's going to be so much death and destruction. They're going to die so much they're going to get tired of dying. Believe me.
Yes, exactly right. See, now you're feeling the energy, Breaker. Now you're getting it. I swear to God, I will. In the next 2 years, I will turn you from a Biden supporter to a cautious Trump supporter.
Come on, man. We can't allow this hatred and division of Donald Trump to permeate within our nation of peace any longer. You just have to wear your diaper and your mask and get your 17th booster shot, and you'll avoid the COVID, but maybe not so much the cancer. Come on, man. America.
Well, I'm actually on my 43rd booster myself, so I'm protected.
You're the type of America that we should all look up to. Come on, man.
Actually, yeah, I'm on my 47th booster. My heart has failed me. I have 3 pacemakers, and I am now sterile for unknown reasons. But I'll tell you what, I'm protected against COVID.
Oh, come on, man. Like, 3 pacemakers, that's fucking rookie shit. Like, I'm on my 5th pacemaker. And, like, I have to sniff so much essence of young girls just to keep ambulatory and upright. That the essence of children, it fuels me. Come on, man.
This is where we need Alex Jones. They're coming to eat the children.
Lord, what should I do? Destroy the child. Corrupt them all. This is their plan, people. These are demons. Just like the Bible said. It's all the ancients said. It's all they warned us about. They're demons, okay? They are fifth-dimensional invaders coming into our space through people. I'll just go ahead and say it. Make fun of me all you want on CNN or wherever. These people are not freaking human.
See, exactly right. Fucking exactly right. Okay, so there's that. My position is fuck yeah, let's go Trump, and let's have DeSantis as the VP. Oh, and actually, okay, here's the thing, right? For the most part, a VP does nothing. What is the purpose of Kamala Harris? Well, Joe Biden was an old white guy, so they needed a little bit of a woman of color in there to maximize diversity. Generally speaking...
Wait a minute. Do you mean to say that they needed a little bit of help?
Help.
As in the help?
Oh. Maybe, yeah, they need a little bit of help, yeah. So that's the purpose of Kamala Harris. We all know that she is not an effective leader, and I think that both the Democrats and the Republicans actually would prefer that, as bad as Joe Biden is, that he stays alive, because Kamala Harris would be even fucking worse.
Well, wait a minute. I have to defend Kamala Harris here. It's like, there are few politicians that are responsible for the construction of more license plates than Kamala Harris.
That's true. She is extremely effective at that particular business.
And who else is going to put down all those random wildfires in California that totally are not the green initiative and environmentalists' fault for not properly managing the forest? No, that's because global warming, and we need alternative energy because CO2 is causing California to become hotter than ever, and causing the trees to spontaneously fucking combust.
Oh, right, yeah. There have been a lot of places that have been facing a large heat wave at the moment. I know that Europe has been hit pretty hard by this.
Apparently Europe doesn't have air conditioners, so that's like their first problem. It's like, motherfucker, like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, you have the technology.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that they do. I think that they could get air conditioners.
Oh, okay, here's the thing. Like, you might not want to believe this, but air conditioning is so uncommon in so much of Europe that you can even go into, like, the equivalent of a Walmart in Europe, and there won't be any air conditioner on. Believe it or not.
That's kind of crazy.
It's just pissy and hot. And in the wintertime, they have heat, usually. Well, this winter, it's like kind of questionable. Will they or won't they have heat? Tune in next time. We're going to find out about that.
Well, right. I mean, I think that the point is that... yes, it is very hot in Europe, and yes, the climate is changing. The North Pole has been melting. It's a thing that's happening, 100%. But
All those fucking polar bears are just swimming around aimlessly. It's so sad to see. It's like it's almost as though Al Gore, the big old Tennessee Queen, he tried to warn us all about this decades ago, but we just wouldn't listen. Here are the polar ice caps 20 years ago, and here they are today. Do you see the difference? Well, you didn't see the difference, and you didn't notice it in time, and now you're all going to burn in hell.
right. Well, look, it is true that the climate does appear to be changing 100%, and in the face of this, hey, people in Europe, next time, just buy yourself a fucking AC unit, okay? Like, we here in America have been doing this for decades.
Yeah, make sure you need an AC unit and you need like anti-wolf armor to ward off the random wolf attacks.
Oh, okay, right. So apparently, Britain has it's Britain, right? They decided to reintroduce wolves. It's called renaturing.
Also, Germany has some problems with this as well.
I, personally speaking, support the reintroduction of wolves. Just look, make sure that you have a fence. If you own chickens or livestock, and if you're walking around in the woods, make sure that you own a gun. Now, I understand that the people in Europe, they're not allowed to own guns or knives. I think that technically speaking, you can have like a slightly pointed spoon that you can carry on you, but I mean, look, look, if you were armed, the wolves wouldn't be as big. They wouldn't be a problem.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing about that. There was a time in France, like over 100 years ago. I remember the Lotus Eaters talk. They did a whole video about this. Basically, in like ancient France, there was actually a literal army of wolves that was 300 strong. And they became such a massive problem that the French literally turned the military against them. And the military lost the first engagement against fucking wolves. They turned the actual army against the wolves, and they couldn't effectively kill them because the wolves were actually hiding from the barrage of arrows, and they had to send in foot troopers, and the foot troopers were killed by the wolves.
I mean, wolves kind of badass. Like, actually, massive respect.
Against militarized humans with spears, swords, and armor, the wolves still fucking won.
I mean, honestly, massive respect to the wolves. Like, massive respect. GG. But
fucking wolves are. This is why England killed all the fucking wolves. You stupid fucking environmentalist dipshit. What the fuck? I think they actually want to kill humans. Okay, here's the plan. They want to put in a bunch of wolves. They want to malnourish everybody by making them eat the boogs. They want to take away all the firearms. So eventually, the wolf army will recoalesce and just kill all the fucking humans. And then Klaus Schwab can be like, yes, my children of the night. Yes, him all.
It turns out that actually this was the 40 chess plan of the wolves all along. They're actually domesticating us to make us into their cattle that they can feed on. And actually, the entire point of the progressive movement was just to get us to this point where humans could become the cattle of the wolves. That's what this has all been leading up to. No. I personally speaking, I think that reintroduction of wolves is actually a good idea, because like deer exist, and when there's not a natural predator of the deer, then the deer overpopulate and it causes problems. Having a predator around to keep the deer population under control is actually a really good idea, and I think that it's a fantastic move. You need to have these sort of predators in an ecosystem. They're part of the natural balance of the ecosystem. They're a necessity, and I think that humans just need to make sure that they are armed to deal with a wolf if it tries to attack you. Just always walk around armed, and then I think it's more or less okay. It's all right. And you know what?
I guess the Swiss will be perfectly fine then, because they basically are militarized, so the citizenry of Switzerland is just armed anyway, so they'll be able to shoot back the fucking wolves.
Isn't Switzerland like one of the most heavily armed tiny little regions on the planet? Like, they live up in the mountains and they all have guns and no one can possibly attempt to invade them.
Yeah, not just that. In Switzerland, like, they also have the mountain passes are rigged with explosives, and they give the detonators to those explosives over to just like watchmen, which are basically just citizens of Switzerland. So average citizens have like remote detonators in their fucking pockets, to where if they see like invading forces coming through a mountain pass, they could just collapse the fucking mountains on them.
Switzerland is badass. Just a great group of people. They're like a fortress. They're like a fortress nation, and it's beautiful. I think, personally speaking, I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's a.
Isn't that strange how these type of like Nordcuck motherfucking type people say, "Oh, the world is becoming more peaceful and progressive," and yet this fortress nation where everyone is armed and people have remote detonators to collapse the mountains and on invading forces through the mountain passes still exists. I thought the world was more peaceful. Your actions seem to demonstrate otherwise.
Not to the Swiss. To the Swiss, it's all about defense, and I support it.
Well, there you go.
And
also, they're just like, hey, put your money over here. Ring-a-ding-a-durgan. We won't make you pay any taxes.
Oh yeah. In addition to being a fortress nation, they also are like the world banking capital because they're so goddamn well defended. They can make economic deals that I think that like, think about this. If let's say that a small nation like, I don't know, Madagascar tried to do the shit that the Swiss do. Well, they can't, right? Because they're surrounded by water. Like, someone could just take them over if they were if they got too greedy or too rich for their britches, or whatever the phraseology is.
There is that island off the coast of India filled with like primitive hunter-gatherer tribal type people that anytime stupid fucking white people with boats try and come near their island, they just shoot them with arrows.
That's true, but they're not making international banking deals. Anyway, so my point being, before we got off on this tangent, was that for the most part, vice presidents, they don't do much. But I think that actually, if DeSantis were to be the vice president of Trump, I think that he would do a lot. I think he would be very effective, and at the end of another 4 years of Trump, especially when you contrast those 4 years with the 4 years that we had under Biden, I think it's going to look amazing. I think that we're going to be energy independent again. I think that we're going to see a rebuilding of the economy. I think that we're going to see rising wages, not just due to inflation, but due to actual genuine gains in wealth. I think that we're going to see minorities benefit because you're going to have a push for less immigration, both legal and illegal, which means that there will be less competition for the lower paying jobs, which means that, you know, African Americans can actually try to make a foothold into the economy. Like, under the Trump administration, African Americans basically gained more wealth than they ever had. So I think that this is gonna be amazing. And at the end of Trump's 4 years, all that DeSantis has to do is, at the end of that, he just has to say, yeah, you see all the shit that we accomplished? I helped. And boom, he's the next presidential candidate, and I will absolutely vote for him. So that's what I would like to see. I think that's ideal. And fuck yeah.
Well, that's going to be a problem for the African Americans because, if you don't vote for Biden, you're not black. So does that mean that African Americans
They become
will
white.
suddenly be...
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's how it works. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, well, that by itself is going to solve a lot of problems.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, that's science. If you did not vote for Biden, you are now a white person. That's how it works.
We're so swiftly moving on.
Okay, so we also have Steve Bannon. He was found guilty on 2 contempt of Congress charges, and he did not put up a fight. So there it is.
Like, fuck you, come get me.
Kind of, yeah. So I guess that Bannon posted on social media that he wouldn't comply with the January 6th committee hearings, and he got put up for contempt of Congress. And then when they called him out and he said, "Okay, this is now your trial. You were under threat of contempt of Congress," he went, "Okay," and didn't put up a single defense. Just said, "Okay."
There's something really funny about this, going back to Ocasio-Cortez for a second. If you remember that weird debacle she had with that crazy political satirist comedian that was just, like, kind of following her around, say, like, "Look, there's my favorite big booty Latina. It's Ocasio-Cortez. Oh, that booty makes me sweat." Like, he was constantly talking about her ass. And then she went on, like, a fucking tirade after that, saying, it's like, "I don't feel safe in the Capitol. Like, we need more investigations into things like January 6th. Like, I remember there were some people that were just waving the protesters in. It's like, Ocasio-Cortez actually admitted that she knew that there were people... Now, this is on video. You could very easily find this. That during the January 6th protests, literally you could see motherfuckers just waving the protesters in. They kind of just stand there dumbfounded for a second, like, "Wait a minute, what?" And then they just, like, shrug and, like, go in. They were literally invited in by the fucking authorities.
They were. That's true.
And Ocasio-Cortez admitted to it, basically, by accident, because she's such a fucking brilliant intellectual powerhouse.
I can't wait until she gets the Nobel Peace Prize like Obama did. So
I think we should vote for her for the next president. I think she should run.
I can't wait. Oh god, that's what we need. Because here's the thing, right? When I look at leadership, okay, I'm not colorblind. I'm color magnetized, right? The only thing that I can see is color, right? It's so blindingly bright that the only thing that I can pick up about society or civilization is what color someone is and what gender they are. So when I think about leadership, I don't think about how effective they are in enacting policies, what the policies are, if they seem to be able to inspire the people under them, how good they are at international relations. I don't think about any of those things because they don't matter. What matters is the fact that AOC is a woman and she is mildly ethnic. And god damn it, she gets my vote just because of that.
You see, I'm bringing you over to my side every day. It's like, you're going to end up vote for Cortez over Trump.
Exactly, right.
Starting to see the light. You've got to vote for the big booty Latinx.
That's right. Yeah, the big booty Latinx. Yeah. So anyway, Steve Bannon was, I guess, he was found guilty, and it seems that this might be a play at basically not submitting to the January 6th committee and just saying, you know what, you have no power here. We will take this up to a higher court. I don't know, maybe the Supreme Court. Who knows? And and that it seems like it might be a play at a check on the power of the January 6th committee. So, like, imagine this. Imagine that, okay, they found Bannon to be guilty. And then let's say, I don't know, they go to the fucking Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court goes, no, you're not. Then what the fuck can the January 6th committee do? I mean, they're not even like a real, like, legal thing. It's kind of like it's like a kangaroo court. It's for show. What are they gonna? They can't do shit. They can't do shit if the Supreme Court says nah. So this might actually be a play, and if that's the strategy that they're going for, and that's why it is that Steve Bannon offered zero defense. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if that does happen, that's going to be very interesting, and fun to watch, and much popcorn will be shared all around. So, I hope that is the result. We shall see.
I'll tell you something else that will be shared around in abundance is De Weer's blended Scotch whiskey white label, which I am currently imbibing heavily.
Oh, okay. Well, I should mention that before we started the show, Breaker said that he had been imbibing a bit of the old fermented plant matter, and so I guess that's what he's doing, and I support him on that. Anyway,
I'm still going, motherfucker. I'm like, I don't even know how many 6-packs of beer and vodka, and now I've got the De Weers. Like, I'm off the fucking chain.
Excellent. Always good to hear. Always good to hear. We like to keep it lively here on the Promethean Tides, of course. Okay, so we got a couple more stories here. So apparently Tesla has cashed out of its Bitcoin investment. They put like 1.5 billion in, and they took $1 billion out. As far as I can tell, they lost like 500 million on their investment, and they are not diamond hands. Tesla or Elon Musk tweeted way back when they bought a whole bunch of Bitcoin. He said diamond hands, and turns out that he did not, in fact, diamond hands the Bitcoin investment. He is selling. Now this will put a whole bunch of more Bitcoins into the market, which will drive down the price. So Bitcoin is down, but at the end of the day, we'll see what happens, because I would never actually count Bitcoin out. Like, I think that it continues to be a thing that has a history of going down and then coming right back up. So we shall see what happens with that.
But my thoughts on this are Elon Musk with the Twitter bullshit and this combined. It looks like, number one, he's trying to offload his fucking grossly overinflated Tesla freaking stocks, probably because of the changing of the political tides that he sees coming. Like, he's probably predicting that Biden is well on his way out. Like, he's already like the least popular president ever, unfortunately. That's just the evil alt-right Nazis, don't you know? But anyway,
unfortunately, you know, for all the good that he's done in America, he really should be the most popular president.
Yeah, I know. It's just like we have too many Trumpanzees and Nazis around for him to gain any headway, you see. But anyway, Elon Musk, it seems like he knows the political tides are changing, and he knows the fucking Twitter bullshit is on the verge of collapsing. So I think what this is attempting to do is he's trying to get out of his overly bloated, grossly overvalued Tesla stock in a way that doesn't immediately collapse the fucking trust of the company. Like, if he just started selling off all his shit like real quick, all the investors would be like, wait a minute, why is the founder of the fucking company so get rid of the freaking Tesla stock? He doesn't want that to happen. So I think it's like a combination of that but he's doing that through Twitter. And now with the Bitcoin thing, I think what his ultimate strategy is to recoup this by intentionally poisoning and driving down the price of Bitcoin by flooding the market. Just watch, he's probably going to shill some type of shitcoin, and like he did with Dogecoin, right after this, or very soon after this, so that he'll be like double dipping on both ends. Like he'll be offloading his toxic stocks in the fucking Twitter shit, and he'll be pumping a shitcoin that he will then put in his pocket.
Well, yeah, anything is possible. Of course, I don't believe he's trying to right now offload Tesla stock. I will say that I believe that the Tesla stock is way, way, way overvalued, and it has been for years. That's my...
And he knows that. And he knows the people keeping it that way are like the subsidized green energy motherfuckers that he looks around the world and he sees those motherfuckers are on their way out, especially with the energy crisis in Europe. Like this fucking coming winter, like you're going to see a rise of right-wing sentiment in Europe, the likes of which hasn't been seen for a great many decades, because they're going to be freezing to fucking death and they're going to be being attacked by wolves.
That when you're freezing to death and you have no food and no electricity and the wolves are attacking you,
And wolves.
that does tend to make you move a little bit more to the right.
Yeah, and Elon Musk sees all this shit coming. Don't think he doesn't. So he knows, like, the green energy subsidy shit that basically is the reason why fucking Tesla is bloated and overvalued is on its way out around the world, not just in America. So he's like, shit, I really need to fucking get out of Tesla, and I need to pump some type of shit coin to offset my losses.
I think that Elon Musk is in it to win it on Tesla. I think that yeah, it's overvalued, but I don't think he's going to give up Tesla anytime soon. Like I think he's in it to win it on it. This is just it's a hiccup on Tesla.
Okay, just think about it pragmatically. You know that like Tesla, number one, is like part of the tech sector, and number two, it's part of like alternative green energy shit. And alternative green energy shit only exists because it is heavily fucking subsidized. And if those subsidies are starting to become on very shaky ground, not just domestically but globally, you're going to start biting your nails a bit and be like, I really got to get out of this. Now, you might think he's in it to win it on Tesla, and on any other occasion, I would probably agree with you to an extent, but the fact that the green energy subsidy rug pull is on its way down the pipe, and he sees this probably better than either one of us are capable of, because he's more in the thick of that globalist financial world. I get the feeling that he's really trying to scramble to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Well, it's certainly possible. I don't know. I think that he kind of built the company from the ground up. I mean, he might liquidate some assets from it, but I think that he can see a temporary downturn, and he can go, you know what, I'm ready to weather the storm, and not just drop everything because it's going a little bit south. I think that Tesla is going to be around for a long time. I would guess, and it is.
And here's another thing I would push back on. It's like I would otherwise agree with you if not for that he just blatantly publicly endorsed DeSantis and said like basically fuck the Democrats. That is like a major fucking flag that really reinforces a lot of my opinion on he's trying to fucking drop this fucking hot potato as quick as possible.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why it is that he he said fuck Trump. I'm going for DeSantis. That doesn't actually make the most sense to me.
Because if you endorse Trump, you get the media machine calling you a Nazi 24/7 until you die.
Yeah. I mean that's true. That's true. I DeSantis isn't bad. Like I like DeSantis a lot. It's just that I don't know why it is that Elon would specifically go against Trump. Like he this is like kind of older news, but he came out and he said like, oh, you know what? No, like Trump is not good for the nation. We need to get DeSantis in. But why? Why would you specifically go against Trump? Do you know how many millions of Americans are Trump supporters, such as myself? Like, he I don't know, man. He could have just said that I'm voting Republican. He didn't have to specify the Republican that he was going to vote for.
Well, like I said, it's like DeSantis is like the quasi-establishment motherfucker that's okay, he's already like a known quantity Republican politician. Like, the global homo agenda really fucking hates Trump with a burning passion if the last 4 years of the Trump presidency weren't a clear indication of that, and how ever present the negative press coverage of Trump was. Even when Trump did things like pardoning Susan B. Anthony and shit, like they somehow spun that to be a negative. They hate Trump very much.
The more they hate Trump, the more I like him. But I didn't realize that he pardoned Susan B. Anthony. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like old news at this point. But when he let out that list of presidential pardons, everyone was expecting that he would pardon Julian Assange and Snowden. What's his fucking first name? Edward Snowden, yeah. Julian Assange and Edward Snowden. By the way, Julian Assange is probably going to get Epsteined, and Snowden is still like... Snowden is like this mysterious fucking character living in freaking Russia, so that's probably the only thing saving him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so I get the sensation that Elon Musk did that. This is all like... I told you when we had that episode specifically talking about Elon Musk several months ago now, I told you that he was one of the elites that thinks the quote-unquote religion is useful, and you're one of the people that thinks the religion is true. There's a very big difference in those two different types of people. And Elon Musk is just like... I've got to get out of this fucking shit, drop this hot potato because the political winds are changing. And you're just like, no, Tesla, Elon, Senpai, don't go. Like, very different perspectives on the world that you and he have.
Well, like, I think that... I continue to think that Elon Musk is the most based of all the billionaires. But, you know, if he does wrong... then I will call that out. And I mean, look, at the end of the day, he's also still the only billionaire that is saying that he's gonna vote for a right-wing candidate. All the other billionaires are fucking terrified. They're like, no, I will vote for Biden. I'll vote for AOC. I'll vote for Karl Marx if you want me to.
Yeah, and that's kind of like a clandestine Machiavellian signal to be like, I know the green energy subsidy shit is like going downhill, and all like the left-wing apparatchiks of Globo Homo, the ground is evaporating beneath them, and I'm aware of that. That's why I'm letting you know without explicitly saying it that I'm changing camps, because I know this shit's on its way out. But he can't say it that explicitly, so he just says something like, I'm voting for DeSantis.
Yeah. That's that might be more or less fair. And yeah, I agree with you. I think that the whatever the policies of the left are, those are really on the way out. I think that they're dead and or dying.
Unfortunately, because Biden was the best president we ever had. Come on, man, America.
Just the best.
Pay no attention. Pay no attention to my crackhead son behind the curtain.
Oh, it's so tragic. It's so tragic if we... Oh, God, can you imagine losing Biden? I mean, good old grandpa, keeping us safe.
Yeah, with all his masks and diapers. Like, I've never felt so safe.
You know what? He's the most dependable president because he wears Depends.
Well, I guess that depends on your perspective. Womp, womp, womp. But anyway, any more news items on the agenda?
No, I think that was... I mean, obviously, there's lots of news happening in the world. We didn't cover probably most of it, but I think those are the major things that happened this week. It was like a medium news week, I guess.
Well, I'll just have to caution our European listeners, like, please, like, pay attention to your surroundings. Don't go walking late at night, and avoid, if you hear howling in the distance, you probably need to get the fuck back indoors as soon as possible. And for a specific European listener, all you need to do is jump onto the wolf's head, and it will pop and turn into a coin. I know you're listening, and I know that you know that this message is specifically for you.
I assume that was some sort of like Mario reference. I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
You could say that.
I understand. I
just jump on the wolf's head and it will pop and turn into a coin.
I understand references. Fuck yeah. Well, okay. With that, a little bit shorter of a show this week. But I think we got through the news, and we will be doing an after show that will be up probably like a day after this goes up. For anyone that is still listening, thank you very much for making it through the show. We appreciate you. Remember to like and subscribe, and also, as per usual, I will be posting a song down in the comments. If you have a particularly dope song on your mind, you can comment that. I'll give it a listen. So far, no one has, but hey, you can be the first. And also, if you just want to comment on anything that we happen to say, absolutely do so. But yeah, with that, we'll bring this portion to an end, and peace out, everyone. And Breaker?
Just remember, avoid wolves, take your vaccines, don't pump any shitcoin crypto, and do not financial advice, but I personally wouldn't buy Twitter stock. Just saying for myself.
Well, all right. There it is. Peace out, everyone.